Organising a formal text.
First, or firstly, or first of all, we must consider. Next, it is important to remember that
Secondly and thirdly are also used with first and firstly for lists.
Finally, or lastly, we should recall that coming to the final point on a list.
Turning to the question of foreign policy, changing to a new topic.
leaving aside the question of pollution, there are also other reasons. The writer will not deal with that question here.
In parentheses, let us not forget that making a point that is a side issue, not part of the main argument.
In summary, or to sum up, we may state that listing or summing up the main points.
In sum, the economic issues are at the centre of this debate, listing or summing up the main points. Much more formal.
In conclusion, or to conclude, I should like to point out that
Explaining, exemplifying, rephrasing, etc.
To learn new words properly, a lot of recycling is needed. In other words, you have to study the same words over and over again. That is to say, is much more formal. To learn new words properly, a lot of recycling is needed. That is to say, you have to study the same words over and over again. That is to say, is much more formal.
Some English words are hard to pronounce. For example, eighth. Some English words are hard to pronounce. For instance, eighth.
It might be possible, say, to include the parents in the discussion. Similar to, for example, note the commas before and after. Say is also common in spoken English.
the Parliament has different committees. Briefly, these consist of two main types.
She is, so to speak, living in a world of her own. She is, as it were, living in a world of her own. Makes what you are saying sound less definite or precise. As it were is more formal.
B. Backwards and forwards in the text.
The following points will be covered in this essay, used to introduce a list.
It was stated above, or earlier, that the history of the USA is...
See page 238 for more information.
Many writers have claimed this. See below.
A full list is given over leaf.
For further details, see Chapter 4. For further discussion, see Chapter 4.
May I refer you to page 3 of my last letter to you?
With reference to your email of the 12th of March, often used at the beginning of a letter or email to link it with an earlier text. Formal.
C.